So I want to briefly explain to you what this Shades of Green is about. When Tommy was on the ballot back in 2010, a group of us were together. That group would be, we call ourselves the A team. It's Mario and Monica, who work with Tommy at the county, and then whoever his campaign assistants are at the time, and Tommy and myself. And we were in a meeting, and we were trying to think of something new and exciting and different to do, and I was wanting to get more involved, and so we came up with this idea to have this women's luncheon. So this was back in 2009, and it was so fun, and it was so, it was just exciting. Everyone had a great time. It was informative, and so as soon as it was over, we said we need to do this again. Our theme that first year, because my favorite color is green, and because Tommy is very much into green everything, we decided to call it Shades of Green. Having done the first one, when we wanted to do another one, we're like, okay, now what? We can't change the color, we kind of have a theme going on, and so we decided that what we were going to do is go through Tommy's 6 transformational issues. If you have not heard Tommy's speech on his 6 transformational issues, I'm sure he would be happy to give it to you. But over and above what he's responsible for as a county commissioner, he has taken on 6 things that he thinks are extremely important to the community. Those things are, this is always a test. And our first year was resource recovery and recycling. The second Shades of Green we had was healthcare. The third Shades of Green we had last year was jail population and reentry. This year, our theme is Neighborhood Revitalization. We have 2 left, and they are energy and transportation. And so now each year, Shades of Green just chooses another one of Tommy's 6 transformational issues. We invite some very special guests that know a lot about our particular topic, and they come and inform us on some ideas about that respective topic. So welcome to Neighborhood Revitalization. This is our 2012 topic. This is an important topic to Tommy, and it's kind of fun. Tommy and I don't see each other a whole lot. But when we're getting ready for a Shades of Green, we schedule some meetings, and we talk about what topic is coming up. And neighborhood revitalization is one of those things that's really important to Tommy because he has never left the neighborhood that he was raised in. When Tommy was born at Santa Rosa Hospital and he went home to 140 Golden Crown. That was his primary residence. And you know where we live right now? 128 Golden Crown. 3 houses down from where Tommy was raised. My experience was very different. When I got taken home from Wilford Hall Hospital, where I was born, I went to my house at 230 Stolnet in Eastwood Village off of W.W. White Road. Anybody know where that is? Yay? Until I was 14 years old. Then my family moved to a newer subdivision, Camelot, on Round Table, out by Roosevelt High School. Then I went away to college, and when I came back, I moved to a newer neighborhood out off of Medical Drive because I was working at USAA, and I never went back. I never went back and saw Eastwood Village. I never went back and saw Camelot during all of that time. And then I married Tommy, and I moved back into Southeast San Antonio, and everything had changed tremendously. And I realized why he feels so strongly about neighborhood revitalization and making sure that you stay focused, that you have at least a small cadre of people that stay focused on keeping a neighborhood uplifted so that it can be a good, safe, beautiful place for you to live that you can have pride in. And so that's what brings us to our neighborhood revitalization Shades of Green. Today we have some excellent speakers for you and a really entertaining video of Tommy for you a little bit later. So without further ado, we're going to get started. Our first speaker is Jackie Gorman. She is the executive director of SAGE, and SAGE stands for San Antonio for Growth on the East Side. Before joining the executive leadership team of SAGE, Jackie was the owner of Ivy Consulting and a senior partner with Allen Austin Executive Search Consultants, where she was the nonprofit government and higher education practice leader. Jackie has served on numerous boards and commissions and is currently the chair of the board of directors of Girl Scouts of Southwest Texas, and she's the parliamentarian of the Alamo City Black Chamber of Commerce. She was inducted into the San Antonio Women's Hall of Fame in 2002. Please welcome Jackie Gorman.
Thank you so much, Karen and Tommy, for including me today. You know, I stand up here, and before I start talking about what we do at SAGE in community revitalization, I need to say you guys are an amazingly beautiful audience. And so I was sitting there looking around, and the lines to one of my favorite poems came to mind. And I'm just going to share the first line with you because the poem goes off into some other areas. But this first line so much captures what I am seeing from here. And let's see if I can bring it up because I don't want to miss a word. A room full of sisters, like jewels in a crown, vanilla, cinnamon, and dark chocolate brown. And that's what we have here today. So I am so excited to see all of us sisters in this room today. So SAGE, what is SAGE? SAGE is a nonprofit organization that serves as the growth engine for the East Side. We have an 11-member board of directors, and so the first thing you should learn and the thing that you should take away from this, because a lot of people get confused about this, SAGE is not an organization of the city of San Antonio. We are a separate nonprofit. We have contracts with the city, but I am not a city employee and we are not an agency of the city. But through partnerships, alliances, and leveraging resources, SAGE helps East Side businesses expand and grow and supports new businesses joining our community. Our passion is telling the story and celebrating the successes of the East Side. So our board looks at community revitalization, neighborhood revitalization, basically as a three-legged stool. If you can imagine a three-legged stool, you got to have all three legs or you're going to fall over. Well, the three legs are housing, education, and economic development. So it's real clear that SAGE has owned that economic development leg. But we also work to support the housing leg through our work with the San Antonio Housing Authority and their Choice Neighborhood Project, as well as our work with other developers and builders trying to encourage infill development in our neighborhoods and repopulation of our community. So that's that leg. And then there's the education piece, and we work very closely with SAISD and the United Way on their Promise Neighborhood Initiative, but also with other educational activities that are going on in our community, like the University of the Incarnate Word Eye Clinic and supporting St. Philip's College. So it's very important to us because we know that our community, which is the top part of that stool, will never successfully be revitalized unless all three legs are important. And so that's why you will see us off doing things that may not on its face look like it's pure economic development, but you can't do one without the other. And I invite all of you who are practitioners in one or the other of those legs to remember that. Not only is your leg important, but while you're working on your leg, you got to make sure the other two legs are standing too, because we cannot do this in isolation. And then somebody was talking to me last night and today, and I realized there's another piece that I never added to that picture. So we've got the stool, the legs are strong, but it's built and it's sitting on a foundation of leadership, community leadership. And that's who you guys are. You know, you are the leaders, the mothers of our community. And no matter what we do with those three legs, unless we keep you strong, we're still going to fall over. So it's all intermingled. Specifically, what does SAGE do, though? We identify needs and provide assistance to businesses that already have a foothold in the East Side commercial corridor. We serve as an economic development resources for current business owners and potential new businesses moving into the community. And we do that basically with 4 driving principles. First, we advocate for efficient, sustainable growth for San Antonio's eastern sector. Second, we champion small business development. Third, we work very diligently to maintain and promote the area's history and culture. We just had this past weekend the Sage Music Festival, and it was probably the most eclectic music festival ever held, because what we tried to do, and I think what we were successful at doing, is announcing to the city of San Antonio that the east side of San Antonio is the most diverse community in our city. And we tried to recognize that diversity through various genres of music. So we had gospel, we had salsa, we had Tejano, we had country, we had hip hop, we had blues and R&B, and we had jazz. So all of our cultures were represented in that one day. We also tried to provide innovative and progressive solutions to East Side problems and challenges. So how do we champion small business development? Since 2010, we've given out almost 40 grants totaling about $500,000. These were grants to small businesses. We also provided about $50,000 in low-interest loans. That investment of about $550,000 has been leveraged to over $2.5 million in private investment in our community and created over 100 new jobs and protected countless others. That's what we do on a day-to-day basis to impact our community. We also go around and talk about catalytic projects to our community, what's coming, what we'd like to see coming. Sometimes we tilt at windmills, but other times we make it work. So let me tell you about a couple of projects that I am tilting at right now, since everybody tells me that I tilt at windmills a lot. One of the things that I really am excited about is the new city-based cinema over by Brook City Base. Have you guys been there? It's an amazing facility. So being that I will ask anyone anything, I called up their owners one day and said, what would it take for us to get something like that truly on the east side? They said, you just got to help us find a place. So I'm working with them to find a place so that we can have a movie theater on the east side. We can still go over to City Base. We're not going to kill their business over there. But if we can find a place along I-35, somewhere close to Fort Sam, where the people from Fort Sam can actually see it, where the people from the community can get to it, we'd have our own movie theater. And so that's one of the projects that I'm working on. I'm working with a group of developers who have amassed a significant amount of land at the corner of I-35 and Walters. In an ideal world, we thought that was a great place for the San Antonio Regional Children's Hospital. Didn't work out that way, but we haven't given up. We do think, though, that we have a significant need for health care on the east side. And so we are working, trying to find a partner who will help us build some sort of significant medical facility there. It might end up being an outpatient medical clinic. It might be a standalone emergency department. But we need something like that on the east side. Number one, if I cut my finger right now, I don't know how far I have to go to get to the closest hospital. I either have to go south and go over to the Baptist or go all the way up to Walsham Road to get to the closest Texas Med Clinic. So we need something just a little bit closer and a little bit more central to our community. Thank you, ma'am. And you know what? I didn't make that up. I go around and I try to visit with all the neighborhood associations, and every one of them, when I said, if you could tell me what I need to be working on, that's what they tell me I need to be working on. We need some sort of medical facility in our community. Now, I will tell you this. I won't guarantee that we'll be successful at this attempt either, but what I will tell you is that we will always continue to try. And so everybody said, aren't you disappointed that we didn't get the Children's Hospital here? And I'm like, yeah, I am kind of disappointed, but I am so glad that they took us seriously. And that's the key. For the first time, there was a discussion about a major project in San Antonio, and the East Side was a player. We were there. We were at the table, and they had to recognize us. So if we get nothing else out of that deal, they know we're here, and they know that next time we will be right there, and we won't knock on the door nicely maybe this time. Maybe we'll bang on the door. And then if we don't get it that time, maybe we'll start kicking on the door. But it's incremental steps. And so that's SAGE. That's what we do, and that's our vision of community revitalization. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jackie.